Let me just frame the question. The question is, a third of Americans have no retirement plan at all, and the average savings for someone between 40 and 50 is $14,500. If they're going to have a middle-class lifestyle, they need about $300. It's a huge crisis. What do you do about it?
So we got to get from 14,000 to 300,000.
Yes. What do you do about it? Is you have to mandate savings. You have to require people to put money aside or they won't do it. The problem with that is, for median income below, they live paycheck to paycheck. So what we do is we take the deduction from 401ks and redeploy that into a $600 per person tax credit for everyone in America, from Uber drivers to CEOs.
Regardless of income?
Regardless of income, but it matches their retirement savings contribution. That is 1.5% of wages, up to a cap. And then the employer matches that with 1.5% of wages also.
So this is effectively a forced savings program.
But you're asking corporations on free will to add another 150 basis points of cost to their income statement.
It's 150 basis points of labor cost, and they don't have, and first of all, not total cost, and secondly, they don't have any other retirement plan obligations.
I think that's a very hard stone to move up the mountain. As a shareholder, I'm not okay with that. And that's a government mandate you want to put in place?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because otherwise, corporations will be taxed very, very heavily, in my opinion, because you have a humanitarian crisis.
So this sounds like I'm from the government and I'm here to help you.
I don't know about that. This plan will save corporations that have money, that have pension plans or 401k plans.
So yeah, and as an employee who's got better benefits than that from my company,
and remember,
that makes me think, is my employer going to be incentivized to do less?
Well, to reduce them.
Yeah.
They may over time, but there's a 3-year window when they cannot do that. So I think over time it actually saves companies money, and you get people with savings, and then those savings are pooled and invested. There's two other important parts of this plan. They're pooled and invested like pension plans. 401ks earn 2 to 3% a year on average in America. Pension plans have earned 7.5, maybe now 6.5. But it's something in that range. It's a huge difference when you compound that over 40 years. Hang on, one other thing. And then when you retire, your savings account is automatically turned into a lifelong annuity for you and your spouse.
Okay, so let me just ask you this. So if you are the Trump administration, which has said that jobs, jobs, jobs is your mandate and your only real mandate, that's the mandate, do you think this actually is going to help with that? I'm thinking that depending on how this is structured, that if you're an employer, small business or otherwise, this actually might slow down some hiring.
I don't think so.
Because it's raising your cost of employment.
Different problem.
It's affecting everyone equally.
But you're talking about lack of financial literacy, basically. You're telling me that people don't know they have to save. Isn't the root problem that we teach them everything else? Reading, math, sex education, geography. We don't tell them about debt or investing. Average salary is only $52,000 in America. If you put 10% aside, you'd have $1.2 million when you're 65.
You're totally right. Financial literacy is part of the problem.
So I'd rather do that than have the government
mandate. But let me ask you something, Kevin. If you have a certain amount of money when you retire,
yes,
and you don't know how long you're going to live, and you don't know what your expenses are going to be, you don't know how to invest it, how are you going to take that at retirement and figure out how much you can spend, how much you can save, what you have to invest in? That is a highly complex problem. In fact, a Nobel Prize laureate called it the most complex problem in finance. You can't have enough financial literacy across America to deal with it.
Just the concept of having the government come and tell me what I'm adjusting on my income statement is against every aspect of my DNA. I hate it a lot. And it's fraught with risk.
What kind of reaction have you gotten in Washington?
The reaction's been very positive.
But has it been political, meaning down the aisle? You talk to Dems, they like it. Republicans say no?
Well, I talk more to Dems.
Okay.
And they definitely like it. But I've had a number of talks with Republicans, and they like it. In fact, if you look at Paul Ryan's A Better Way,
right,
the one thing he says, we have a big retirement crisis in America, and we need a plan for it. And I've talked to Paul about it, and he says, it's very interesting, I want to hear more.
Right.
It's not much of a commitment, I got it. But
we got to go. Final question for you. The James family, given what's going on in the markets right now, are you holding cash, waiting for a big correction? Are you selling now, thinking something bad is going to happen? What does the James family do on a day like today?
I've got money in floating rate debt instruments that yield about 6%.
Bank loans.
Bank loans, mortgages,
yeah,
stuff like that. Okay. All floating rate, all senior secured.
Makes me feel warm and